Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. Remember, you can find out more on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, where, of course, every week we give you an opportunity to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. And congratulations then to Brandon Mayer. Brandon walked away with this week's prize, a case of Score energy drinks. In fact, Brandon, you're going to have to just keep an eye on your Facebook page, or at least on your Facebook Messenger, where we're going to need to get hold of you so that we can make arrangements for you to come and collect your prize. Right, folks, so of course, as you know, every week we give you an opportunity and we give you a couple of tips here on the show. So you have to watch the show to get a clue to see what the team, which team it is that we have in the Spot the Team competition. Jerome, last week was, of course, Young Gardens in Paarl. I know you got that one right. We said that they were young, they were in the garden, they loved gardening. I can't remember exactly what it is that we said, but those were the tips that we gave, and it all pointed to Young Gardens. This week, we've got another one. You know who this team is, so of course, you're not going to give it away. But folks, there you see it on the screen now. Spot the team. Just tell us what is the name of this team, and you can put yourself in the mix to win yourself the case of Score energy drinks. Right, so Jerome, would you like to give this one a go?
Yeah, what I would say is we talk about the rain and we talk about the rivers, so that's basically what I can say about this team.
Well, I can also tell you that they are a Super League A outfit, and we did feature one of their games in the season already, folks, where the first half was fine and the second half was completely flooded. And what I also can tell you is a big thanks to Grant Albertine for sending the picture in. So if you're a club rugby fan, you will immediately know. One last look then at the picture from that is on screen, where you can go and follow us on Facebook, and just go and spot the team. Right, Jerome, let's just quickly touch on the draw again. All Super League A teams were at the HPC last week. You had up the name of all the contracted players, Springbok players, DHL senior players, all in the pot to draw. Does this mean that these players will actually play club rugby every weekend?
No, not every weekend. Most of the guys who played in the URC, they're on a break now.
Yeah.
So and then they obviously start in October. So it's on, obviously Dobson will decide.
Right.
There's only rugby in October.
Okay.
So the guys will play
from time to time.
From time to time they will play, except the Springbok guys, because we know they're busy with.
But they'll play. They will play when you need them to play, not when the clubs want them to play.
Yeah, we made it clear to the club, please don't contact these players, because they're not. Yeah. They're not going to react when you contract. It's when Dobo tell me, player X is available for a club, he will go join. Maybe he'll say there's a few players that can go next week. We don't know that he wants to go see him play, but he will tell us when the players can play.
So one of the things that everybody was talking about was obviously it was a lot of excitement. You know, you draw the names of famous players. Some of the guys were talking about that they needed a certain player in a certain position. That was quite fun.
Yeah, I think Hamlets would be very happy because they were looking for forwards, and they draw Salman Murad.
Yeah.
So they were happy to have him. And I also saw Clement from UWC Strains went up, draw, and he drew Herschel Yankees, who he basically played for UWC, so it was just their luck. Yeah. But I must say also a compliment to the coaches who were there and or the clubs who sent the people to come and draw. They were very excited. They were very happy with the way we did the draw, and everybody left there and was just positive. So it was good.
One of the things obviously that the guys will do is use the names as a draw card. Maybe promote it that those are their players. Might invite some of those senior players to come into a social event, something to help market the club.
Yeah, that's good. They can go and I mean they can use those players as they want to use them, if the players available, also the Springbok players. And maybe some of the Springbok players will go to the club and go help with the coaching. Yeah.
Let's take a look at your fixtures coming up then this weekend, folks. We first start off with Super League A, and this weekend it's coming Hamilton's up against NTK. Hamlets take on UWC. Helderberg and St. George's, Unimill and Kales River, and then Tygerberg are up against Villages. Some big games here, Jerome. We're going to take a look at the barometer for the match between Tygerberg and Villages and some of the other barometers as well. Hamilton's and NTK, both of those teams struggling a little bit at the bottom of the log, but they'll be looking to climb this week.
Yeah, look, obviously it's a home game for Hamilton's, and so we know they're busy, like you say, they're busy climbing and they're playing better rugby, so it's going to be tough for NNK.
Yeah. In Super League B, folks, we've got SK Warmers. They're hosting Belha. Hands and Hearts take on Paarl. Vineyards and Collegians. Strand Young People, CPUT Primrose. Carlamore, Belleville, Franschhoek and All Saints. In Super League C, it's Hamadiers and Morningstar. Kraaifontein, Peniel Villages. Blue Stars, Busy Bees. Macassar, Masipumulele. Goodwood and Blue Jets. While in the City Leagues, Gardens and Callies. Violets and Silvertree. Manenberg Rangers take on Western Zebras. And Elsie Sofia travel to Police. In the Southern League, it's a home game for Lagunya against Titans. Atlantis take on Young Stars. Young Wesleys host Rocklands. While in the Northern League, it's Whistling Wheels against Blake. Stellenbosch Coronations against Windmill. Wraithby take on Gordons Bay Pioneers. Excelsior and Strand United and Silurians travel all the way to Delft. And in the Paarl region, we see Lower Paarl up against Simondium. Young Gardens are taking on Allendale, Young Standards and Riverstones. And then Peril United will be hosting Paarl Rangers. Right, we'll take a look at your match barometer then. First match that we're looking at here, Jerome, is Hamlets. They're up against UWC this weekend. The odds are in favor of Hamlets. The odds, in fact, showing us that it's about 3-1. Currently, and this is pretty close because of the fan factor, but currently Hamlets is scoring more points at home than UWC is scoring away. Both teams have yet to put a win on the board.
It's going to be a tough one. Obviously, the barometer seems like it's right, because like you say, both teams need a win. But we know the students also, they're not going to make it easy. Play sort of the similar type of rugby, but I think Hamlets wish that Murat could play this week, but unfortunately couldn't. Yeah. But I think the barometer is
more or less on track. More or less on track. Well, both teams are scoring. Well, we'll have to see how that one goes. It's going to be interesting to see how the barometer features. This is a big derby match, folks. Helderberg St. George's. Helderberg, Jerome, is sitting at right at the top of the log on Super League A at the moment. They have massive odds in favor of a win for them. They currently, I think they've only lost one game so far this season. They're scoring on average 27 points at home, while St. George's is scoring on average 16 points away. They've got an 83% win ratio at the moment for Helderberg versus the 43 from St. George's. And the odds are in favor for Helderberg on every level here.
Yeah, Helderberg is doing well, but like we all know, like a derby is not just it's not just a game that you can say you're going to win this game. So yeah. St. George's will be up for this game, so hopefully it can be a draw. Well,
we'll see, but it's going to be. We'll see whether or not the barometer. We try and remain neutral on this one, folks. So remember, of course, the barometer is brought to you by Infinetix. Better solutions, better business. Big weekend this weekend also for Carlamore up against Belleville. This is in Super League B. Jerome, the odds here are pretty equal, and it's primarily because of the home ground fan factor for Carlamore. If it wasn't for the fan factor, the odds would be in favor of Belleville.
Yeah, look, Belleville is struggling away from home this season. Normally they were quite good when they play away, but they're struggling, so it's going to be a tough one at Carlamore. So it's pretty even, so hopefully it can stay like that.
Yeah, right. So one that we're going to take a look at a little bit more in depth here is this barometer, Jerome. Tygerberg are hosting Villages. The odds, the barometer, in fact, this time around gave a 100% equal ratio for the two teams. But primarily, Tygerberg come away with this barometer because of the fan factor. They are both scoring, interestingly enough. Tygerberg, when they play at home, score 19 points on average. Villages, when they play away, they score 19 points on average. We haven't seen a barometer this even yet. Tygerberg, though, are sitting on a 29% win rate at the moment. Villages 67. If you look at it from a coaching perspective, the two things that jump out for me is that the attack factor and the defense factor is currently in favor of Villagers.
Yeah, I must say, Tygerberg also have a big pack of forwards. I know Villagers have a big pack of forwards, but I think Tygerberg, if they can match them with their forwards, and their backs, they know Tygerberg their field, so they know how to run on that field. So it's going to be, I would say, it's like the 26 all. It's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough one.
Well, folks, it certainly looks like the barometer is an interesting one for us this week. Right. So, Jerome, have you got plans for the weekend?
Yeah, obviously, hopefully the weather is nice so that we can see some good club rugby. Go around to clubs and go see what's happening in club rugby. There's no, I think it's Currie Cup. We're not in the Currie Cup, but there's Currie Cup rugby.
There's rugby. There's lots of rugby, and hopefully the fields have dried out a little bit. All right, folks, that's a wrap from us then this evening. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. And, of course, to all of the clubs out there that are maybe, and all our viewers, in fact, that are struggling under these winter conditions, we know that it's tough out there. We, of course, trust that you remain safe and warm wherever possible. And our thoughts go out to those that are a little bit less fortunate during these difficult times. That's a wrap from us then tonight. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. A fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.